Fuck, man. Christ. The things that we've gotten into tonight. Oh, hey, Internet. Welcome to the Intoxicated Podcast, a weekly comedy talk show that dives into the personal lives of comedians, experts, and creators. I'm your host, Sarah McClellan, a very amateur stand-up comedian and self-proclaimed sad girl. It's the comedy podcast with a lot of heart. Feel hard and talk hard. This is the Intoxicated Podcast.
It's like a settled moment in time to just be like,
Yeah.
I'm right here with you.
There's
to
no
just
phones.
talk.
We're not on like I have a screen here, but I'm not. But it's just to make sure things are recording and shit. But yeah, no, it is like it's like an hour or two of conversation that like we don't always have anymore.
Well, to be honest, I hate hanging around at like after shows and stuff. I don't hate it, and it's funny because I want to like get to know people.
I've noticed that about you. Yeah,
just like leaving and going home because work or whatever. Or I just like, okay, I like eating chocolate, and I just like going home and eating chocolate and just sitting and watching. I've been watching a lot of baseball videos on YouTube and stuff, and that is just a pleasant thing that I like doing lately. But I don't. I like shooting the shit sometimes, but then it gets late, and I just want to be like alone and silent.
Yeah.
And then,
well, you're someone who works, so it makes total sense that you wouldn't want. Like the thing is like,
so I don't get time to meet people as much.
It was
and the new guy, it's kind of awkward. I feel like I don't like small talk and trying to figure people out and be like,
you're on the right show.
How's your day and all that. Yeah, and just I don't know how to bridge the gap between meeting someone and being like
getting to know them,
enjoyably friends, in that smooth flowing friendship.
It is a strange thing, especially in your 30s.
Yeah,
I find it's even
happens.
stranger because when you're in your 30s, this is sad to say, but like you've become your own friend. Like you just said, I like going home and being with myself and eating chocolate and watching baseball videos. Like when you're older, like you really. I always say I'm like the competition for me, like with men, is not other women. It's you're in competition with me. Like I'm the competition. It's either you or me, and I enjoy me more.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I've become someone who just really enjoys being alone. And I never was like that before. Biggest extrovert, would never say that I was an introvert. But like the pandemic and shit, like made me like it forced me into like really enjoying alone time.
Yeah.
Which is interesting.
Alone time's nice.
So I also don't like hanging around after shows. I do get sucked into it sometimes.
Yeah. Well, I'll do it,
But
conversation gets there, and I do enjoy people's company, and I have no problem with anyone on the scene.
boring.
Not yet.
Just joking.
We'll see.
Yeah.
People might have a problem with me.
I don't know.
But yeah, I don't know. It's funny. I would like to do it, but there's like this conflict where I'm just like, I'd rather just kind of just chill and not. But yeah, that's the thing. It's like this is a moment because like we've seen each other and be like, but we've never just like sat down and had a conversation.
Talk. Exactly.
Solely
that's why you're here.
Just to chat. Yeah. So it's cool to take that time.
Shall we start the actual episode now?
Sure.
I love the 20 minutes of preamble. I call it podcast warm up. It's podcast warm up.
That is what this was. Dump him.
my shirt says dump him, but I mostly like this, so it just says dump. So you're welcome, viewers.
That's funny.
Dump. I do have IBS, so maybe that's appropriate. Awesome. So let's get into it.
Great.
You ready for this shit?
Yeah.
We're diving in. There's no going back. Hey, everybody. This is the Intoxicated Podcast, and I'm so excited to have a new guest on the show. He hails from Newfoundland, right? That's where you hail from. I love how people on the East Coast always say
with
that.
Your hails.
Hail from Newfoundland. I'm very excited to introduce Andrew K to the show. Welcome.
Thank you. This is nice. This is a nice, enjoyable environment.
I'm glad. I would hate for someone to walk in and just be like, what the fuck did I just walk into?
I'm just happy it's warm. My apartment's cold.
Oh, shitty. Well, this apartment's actually, it can get too warm because we don't control the heat. So sometimes they cook us in here, but yeah, I'm glad you're here. So Andrew, you're fairly new to the Halifax scene, right?
Yeah.
So when did you arrive in Halifax? When did we meet? Was it summertime?
I think I got here around September or October.
Oh, that makes more sense.
Is that the first time I met you?
I'm trying to think of how we first met. I don't know if it was like, it was Foggy Goggle. That's what it was.
Yeah.
You were new on the Foggy Goggle show,
Yeah.
and we kind of introduced each other.
Yeah.
After Foggy Funnies every Sunday night at Foggy Goggle, hosted by Megan McCracken. You're welcome, Megan, for the free plug.
Killing it.
Yeah, that's awesome. So you came here and you're living here now, and you are, where in Newfoundland are you from?
St. John's.
St. John's. Yeah. And you've been doing comedy for
8 years.
And how has that been?
Oh, it's been a journey. Do I look into the camera?
You can look at me or the you can do whatever. There's no rules.
Okay.
Just don't look away from, like, don't look over there. That would be weird.
Yeah. Look at something. I have to look at something.
Yeah.
That's okay.
But no pressure to like eye the camera down, because I'm mostly doing this, so that might be creepy.
It is interesting looking into just a camera lens and pretending there's people that you're, like
you're picturing a little, like, a theater.
I have to treat it like a human. Or
yes. Picture about 100, because that's about my listenership.
Hey.
It's not that much. Should be more.
But that's the thing is, it is though. Like, it's kind of fuck. Okay, if you have like 100 followers on Twitter, that's not a lot of followers.
No.
But if you have 100 followers in real life, that's a cult.
If you had a room full of 100 people, that'd be a lot of people.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's kind of how I see it too. I kind of see it that way. A good rule that someone told me when I first started podcasting was, picture your downloads or your listeners, like, picture buying them lunch, and if you can't afford it, that's a good number. And I was just like, it's a low bar, but okay. Pretty low bar. Yeah. I'm 5 years in, so I'm looking to grow this bitch. I'm looking to ramp her up.
Yeah. How do you do it? I don't know.
It's a golden question, dude. Yeah. Still trying to figure it out.
Seems like having fun. Just having fun and just, doing what you love. It doesn't seem, because like Joe Rogan, I know nobody, Joe Rogan and stuff, but like, he started it and he just wanted, he didn't do it for fame or success. He's just kicking it with friends.
Well,
as I've heard.
You nailed it with podcasting. If you got to actually enjoy the content you're making.
Yeah.
And like we said before we officially start the episode, like, this is a pre-planned, scheduled conversation, which we might not have had normally. Yeah. You and I, you know, like, we're
otherwise
both people.
It would have been a date.
Yeah.
So you want to go for coffees?
And dates are let me tell you, I really do kick it into podcaster mode when I'm on dates. It's bad. I'm just asking all the questions.
That's actually really funny to have. Like, you should have a Tinder date and then invite them onto this podcast.
I've wanted to do that. Legit.
I feel like that's an exciting thing.
I've legit wanted to do that.
You might want some sort of like bodyguard here or something. I don't know.
That's the thing. I would have to. Oh my god, it'd be so funny to have like a comedian, like a couple comics here hanging out.
Oh my god, yeah.
Fuck, that would be funny. Whoever does that would be insane. Can you imagine matching with a girl? And then her being like, do you want to come do a podcast with
Don't tell
comedians watching us?
Yeah.
Don't tell them?
Yeah, just invite them over. Be like, come over to my house. And then just have comics sitting here. And then
honestly, it's a good litmus test for how it would be like dating me. Truly.
I'm in on this. I would be here, and I fully support this idea. I think that's hilarious. And
well, something interesting that I am doing. I'm doing another live show. I did one like 2 years ago, but I'm going to do another podcast live show, and part of that live show will be a match game segment. I have a friend who's a matchmaker, and we're gonna find 3 bachelors. And like put like a screen here so I don't see them, and then ask them questions, and I'll just hear their answers, and then I'll pick one.
Yeah,
we're gonna do that live on a stage.
Oh my gosh, that's exciting.
Yeah, that'll be exciting to see. You guys will get to see how disappointed I am in every single man.
Yeah,
I should be more positive.
Second by second, that's exciting. Yeah, I mean, maybe she'll find someone. That's her job.
Yeah, that's her job. How did we get on this? What was my initial question?
Where are we?
What's going on? But you've been bumming around the Halifax scene. You've been hitting up shows and stuff. How does it compare to Newfoundland?
I think the thing I've seen here, I've mentioned this to people, is that people in Newfoundland are very like naturally funny. Mm-hmm. It's like ingrained. It's like weird
in Newfoundland culture. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know what it is. Just because it's shitty to live there or something. You run into people like just down the street. They'll crack a joke with you. Like you go to the grocery store, someone will just crack a joke. Just this random person you've never met.
Right.
And then, but like here you don't find that exact same thing. So it seems like people are funny in Newfoundland, but they don't have jokks.
That's
they don't understand jokes. But here
they
have jokes, but
we have no personality.
It's not. There's more of a focus on jokes than like
being naturally
stage
funny.
Presence and.
Oh yeah, that's interesting. That is very interesting.
Just my observation.
No. I like that.
I don't know if it's correct or not, but like in Newfoundland, there's these like personalities, and people go up on stage and they'll just rant and blah, and it's just like this natural funniness, and sometimes it's not, but it's like there's like this humor to that. But here it seems like it's you're listening to clearly what's a joke, and often I find there's not as much of a veil.
It's a little predictable.
But perhaps, and I don't mean to criticize.
I love this.
I obviously there's so many talented people here, and it's that's why actually I'm really happy to be here for that reason, because I'm getting to see all sorts of different types of jokes and different types of people,
different styles,
and people are definitely appreciate the form a lot more here.
That's very true.
Yeah, and so. And like the whole, the creative part of it, and people are more passionate about it here. While in Newfoundland, people are right now, the scene I think is looking worse than ever. It's from what I've heard anyway. It's just a lot of people aren't performing as much anymore. The scene is very small. Yeah, there's not as many shows. What did COVID play in that? I don't know, but like. Yeah,
it's almost like COVID either really destroyed some scenes or really ramped up some scenes.
Maybe, yeah.
And I do think here in Halifax, we ramped up. Like we went up, not down.
Yeah, I heard people say this scene was shit like a couple of years ago or whatever. But it's like right. And I wonder if it's like, because there's a lot of people on the scene that have only been doing it for like 3 years and under.
Yeah.
It seems like most of the scene is built upon people that have been doing 3 years and under.
I would say like 3 to 5, maybe.
At least the open mic scene.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. No, you're
So-
right. And those are I mean, we lost someone who put on a lot of shows during Laporte. But it was COVID that I think inspired a lot of new mics to pop up. But it's awesome fucking now because we're getting even more. And I do think it's just gonna keep growing. And truly kudos to anyone who produces a show. It ain't fucking easy.
Yeah, man, there's people
It's
here
really
that
not.
have only been doing it a couple of years, say, and they have not that like my skill level is any sort of litmus test, but it's like just looking at them and being like, wow, holy shit, like I wish I progressed that quickly kind of thing. And I don't know.
Yeah.
They have more skills in certain areas than I have, and this and that.
Because you might get the producing skill first. You might be a comic who dives into producing, but then you develop the comedy skill through being able to be on a show every week.
For sure. I don't know how people are becoming so skilled so quickly here because you don't have that many more mics, or we used to have like 3 a week, say. I'd get up on mics, the same mic every week.
Right.
Because there wasn't the same amount of people interested. But here, like Beerley's, I can only get on there once a month, say.
Right. But also if you think we have Sunday night,
yeah,
Monday night, Tuesday, Wednesday,
you got more mics,
Thursday, and then Friday we have Yuck Yucks, which you could get guest spots on Yuck Yucks. So there's actually comedy.
But regularly, I'm only getting up 2 or 3 times a week.
Right.
Average, and
see,
probably
to me
less.
that's a lot.
I'm like I only base it on like hearing like the New York comics or like the LA or Toronto comics.
They're
like
multiple times
you
a
gotta
night.
do mics. I don't know how I feel exactly about that, but it does seem like that is a necessary part of this, is just doing as many mics as you can.
It's hustle culture a little bit.
Yeah.
I think that there's I think it's good for the most part, but I do think it's not necessary.
Well, clearly you're pumping out comics here,
I think that there are comics that don't necessarily have to do a shit ton of mics to do well. And maybe their hustle work is more writing off stage. If you're someone like me, I have to do mics because otherwise I will not do shit.
Yeah.
It's actually just a motivation thing for me. I need to be booked on something to fucking do it. Or be like motivated to write new material.
Yeah.
That's just me, but not everyone's like that.
I like working things out on stage more than like sitting and writing.
Yeah.
For me personally.
Me too. Yeah, for sure. You posted something interesting on Instagram that I watched before you came over, which was like a video of someone talking about the work hard mentality. Like we should be working more joyfully, not which is interesting because you brought up like hustle culture and shit. And I kind of instantly thought of that because it was an interesting concept of like, we're always told to grind, hustle, work hard. And like, but we're not always told to like be present and like enjoy the work we're doing and slow down, which is interesting.
Definitely.
I really like that approach. I think that that's something I might embrace more.
I would say
going forward.
It's a good, maybe for me, I try to do both. So I know that when I'm going out and doing mics more frequently, my mind is sharper.
Yes.
And I'm more comfortable on stage. That's a big part of it too.
Yeah.
Is like then when these little hiccups happen in a show or whatever, it's like it affects me less because I've been on stage. I don't need to, like I'm not worried. I'm more comfortable on stage, but then you have those breaks and then it's like the mic feels a little bit more alien and that kind of stuff.
There's nothing worse than being rusty.
Yeah.
Oh, it's the fucking worst.
I like that too. I like it all. I like the whole process.
Oh, that's awesome. You're just like, you're down for everything.
Well, I look at it like spiritually.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, like
comedy's like your religion.
I don't know about I don't know. Like I look at it yogically.
Ooh, tell me about that.
So, like, the different types of yoga. There's different types of yoga. There's hatha yoga, and there's some other yogas, and there's karma yoga. And karma yoga is you can use anything for yoga, really, or like meditation or spiritual work. So it's like anything is a process for purifying your body and your mind. So and that video that I posted was Sadhguru, and so like his thing, he talked. I heard him talk about this thing. I was reading him. Actually, I was reading him talk about karma, and it was like karma. We all are born with a certain amount of karma in our system. Like
I just think of it like karma, Reddit karma.
Yeah,
That's where my mind went to.
There's that karma of like good, like a lot of people talk about good and bad, good, that kind of karma, but he doesn't convey it in that same way. It's I guess like an energetic thing. I wouldn't know how to like properly talk about it, but basically he said one thing he said was like, if you're working like and you don't enjoy it, you're just creating more karma in your life.
Oh my God.
So like, I guess by
so
alleviating karma, you're purifying the body, and then, life feels lighter. And then I guess if you look at it spiritually, you're like leading towards enlightenment and new understanding of I don't understand I don't understand any of this.
It makes fucking
that's how
sense.
I look at it. That's why comedy is like, I just look at it, I'm like, okay, this is no matter what happens, I don't need to know the result. It doesn't have to result in a good or a bad way. It's like whatever I'm doing, and if I get success from this, great, but if not, whatever. Because
you legit just enjoy doing that.
Yeah, and it's helping me. And like that's why it's like some people are like, oh, I bombed, or this sucked, or this was bad, or this was good, but it's like it's all helping me grow, so why do I hate it,
Okay, I have to tell a story. It involves you, because this is I still think about this and it makes me laugh so fucking hard. So I had I don't know if you remember this or not. I had my second guest spot at Yuck Yucks, and I was backstage alone, and you came in. This was like, again, like I was the guest spot, so I don't know who was on. It might have been the headliner on stage or something. But you came in. Hey, Sarah, what's up? And I was bawling. I had tears streaming down my face, and you were just like, oh shit.
Sorry about that.
No, it was just so fucking funny because it was like such a fucking, like, that's just who you are. Like, you're not someone to cry after a bomb, probably. Do you know what I mean? And
sometimes, I mean, I like just because I look, I try to be optimistic or whatever. It's like, yeah, it fucking sucks. Stuff sucks. Obviously, stuff sucks, and stuff is unpleasant or pleasant, or But it's like, yeah, I mean, just
it's all learning.
That's how I try to look at it. Yeah,
yeah.
And the more I keep coming back to that, and just keep, oh, okay, hold on, this is happening for a reason.
That's right.
Kind of thing. But
it's tough. Yeah. You do have to wrap your mind around that. How did you find your first couple of years of starting comedy? Were you someone who, like, did you bomb a lot when you first started? Did you have a strong start? Like, what was your start like?
I think both. It was looking back on it, it was interesting. I was so invigorated because for me, much of my life, I wasn't very free, I would say. I didn't feel like I could say what I wanted. And then once I finally had the courage to do stand-up, I was like, this is like, I can do anything. I can just say anything. And like, And it was, so I did some wild stuff. I was doing a character for a while. I was also like scared to kind of just be genuine. Or be more genuine with myself.
Like, be yourself.
So I had a character.
Oh.
And I had to kind of move. I moved away from that. I fluctuated with that a bit.
So when you say character, do you mean, was it like a legitimate character, like a stage named whole persona? Or was it, oh, really?
But it was really, it was like a version of who I was at the time.
That's really fascinating.
But like, yeah. So I was kind of like awkward. I'm still kind of, I'm awkward, but like, that was like my expression of how awkward I would feel. So it was like way more awkward and crazy. Like I went out on stage and I had like one of my first sets in St. John's, because I actually started in the west coast of Newfoundland at a university. It was my first mic. And it was a music open mic, and just no one laughed the whole time. But I was just so happy to be doing it.
Right.
It didn't matter. I was just like, I finally did it. Because it's something I wanted to do since I was like 16 or 17. But I didn't do it for the first time until I was 22.
Was your first set in the character?
No.
Oh, okay. Character didn't come till later.
And then I don't know why that came. Yeah, I did some LSD. And so I was at that point of my life, I was like, oh, I'm so free. Like, boundaries. What are boundaries, man? I don't care about society and like I'll say whatever. I actually, one of the things I said that night was, I have AIDS. and then people were like, okay, what? Are you okay? What?
Are you joking?
Yeah, I was like, I'm on stage. Of course, you think I'm going to reveal I have AIDS? Then I was like, nothing I said was funny. It wasn't like a joke. None of it. It was a joke to me, but it was like just none of it made sense. It was just weird, all over the place.
Oh ranting. My god!
But I like look back at some of the stuff I did when I was there, and it was like I would get so excited, and writing, I was so passionate. I was just like, I can't wait to try this every day. Just like, it would like surging with energy just to fucking make stuff. And now it's actually, before the roast battle, I was kind of getting like a little lazy, and the roast battle kind of reminded me of that kind of. Oh yeah, remember this kind of? Let's do this.
It was a challenge. It's going to be challenged every now and then.
Like
to
a deadline.
Yeah. You have to go out there and you're up. You gotta go. Like, my goodness. I want to know about this character. What was he like?
Well, super
character.
awkward, and I would just I'd go up on stage and I'd be like, hi. It would be like really drawn out, and I like one time I was there. I was at it was open mic. We'd have a few people there, and I got up and I was like, actually, I could tell you. This is one of the jokes I did. And I was like, me and my girlfriend, we like to role play. I'll be an ISIS member and her my recruit. And then I was and I'll be like, Allah says, come here now. And she'll be like, why? And I'll be like, because you're a woman and I'm a man. And then she'd be like, okay. And then we lay there and fantasize about Judgment Day. And it's just way more awkward than that. Like, I didn't even... I gave up. Now I give up. See, I used to have a great ability to just
keep going,
very dry and like, and then we lay there and fantasize about Judgment Day. But I give up. I'm too self-aware. I'm like too scared. Yeah.
To like
then I was just
to sit in the awkwardness.
Didn't give a fuck. Like, yeah.
That's a skill in and of itself. I envy people who can do that.
I want to get laughs, but then I was like, I don't give a fuck what anyone thinks. Yeah. Now I'm like, oh I hope you do.
I hope you like me.
That's why it's good to do a lot of mics, I think.
Yes, it keeps the juices flowing.
You know, you're bombing sometimes, you're killing, other times bomb, kill, whatever. So.
Yeah, that's true. I think now is a good time to get into the first segment, which is the assumption segment.
Oh, I'm excited for that.
All right, so like I don't know you that well. We've only like kind of you drove me home once, I think, after a mic. We talked then in the car. I don't know you that. I just don't know you that well, Andrew. You're a mystery man.
Good.
In my mind, but based on your vibe and just, I guess, a hunch that I have, I wonder if you've ever been
laid. Never.
Virgin. That's my assumption. Have you ever had a run-in with the law because of like a ridiculous thing that you did? Not a bad thing. I don't think you're a murderer or anything. but like you mentioned LSD. Like I just picture you as a bit of a partier.
Used to be.
Yeah. I had the same assumption about Peter Anthony, and he said the same thing. Used to be. When you were back in those days, did you ever get arrested?
Never arrested.
Okay.
I've always
my assumption's wrong.
Good with words and manipulating situations. I think. Yeah.
Have you gotten yourself into ridiculous situations?
Yes, but I've been good at I can get out of it.
Okay.
Yeah, I've usually. Because if I'm in a situation, I could kind of be like, oh, if a cop came, I'd be able to kind of be like, oh, sorry, officer, I'm just, I'd be like, I could politely handle situations, or I could be a dick.
Okay.
I've always had kind of a good understanding of those kinds of things. Now, if I'm really fucking drunk or fucked up, then probably not. But luckily, I don't think I've ever. My friends, for sure. Yeah. My friends, I hung around with people that like would fight a lot. I did get, I got in a bar fight once.
Okay.
But I wasn't, see, this is the thing. I'm on the peripheries of these things where like my friends are like the ones that fight, and I'm just kind of like, okay, what the fuck is happening? And, but this time I got pulled in because this guy, so we were in Newfoundland at this like kind of sketchier bar. And we're just by ourselves on one side of the bar, and there's like another crew of guys on the other side of the bar. And then one guy comes over and he's shirtless, coked up. And after the fact, realized this guy's like just always gets in fights in this particular part of Newfoundland called Torbay.
Oh, yes. Okay.
You know about Torbay?
I've heard of it.
Well, it's like, it's some wild people there. The boys get shit sometimes for being they're rough around the edges, but I mean, I get stuff, and whereas I get stuff because I'm a townie kind of thing.
Yeah. I'm a mainlander. So
you're a mainlander.
Listen,
yeah, exactly.
I don't know shit.
There's
there's tears. I did notice that when I went to the one time I was in Newfoundland.
You're the worst it could be.
Yeah, you have to earn. You have to earn a Newfoundlander's respect when you go to when you go to Newfoundland. I feel, but not in like a snobby way.
Yeah,
but more of a like, you gotta kiss the cod. You gotta like, I don't know. It's like a whole. I love it. I love it to death. It's awesome.
That is a key thing of humor, I think. Is and we use that as like a feeler, because if you can crack a joke with someone, if you can laugh with someone, then it's like, oh, you're good people kind of thing.
Yeah.
But if someone's a little bit serious or something,
stuck up,
they can't take a joke, then I feel like people will be a little bit more reserved.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. And
yeah. So what happened with this bar fight?
Feel you out. So this guy, he picked a fight with my friend. He was jumping on a table, like we were playing like beer pong, and then he jumped on the table, and then he jumped down, and my buddy's just like, get out of my face. And then he clocked my friend right in the forehead, and my friend just like fell straight back and got knocked out. And then he's my best friend, so I didn't know what to do. Immediately in my head, I was like, these guys could have knives. So I'm like kind of scared. I'm like,
Shit.
I'm not a fighter. I don't like doing that stuff. So I just like speared him like a wrestler. Like I was like, that was the only move I had. I
Wait,
didn't
what
know
does that
to do.
mean?
I like ran at him and just did that and like pushed him to the ground.
Oh.
And then I'm on top of this shirtless psycho. I just like look at him and I'm like, what do I do? And then luckily no one hit me or anything. And my friends came in and they're like punching and he got up and then his friends, they're all 30 by the way. And we're like early 20s.
Right.
Like
Oh, fuck.
Probably even older than 30. One dude looks like he's at like a fucking WWE wrestler.
Right.
And then eventually we're just pushing each other around and I get bottled. So someone smashes a bottle over my head and just like huge gash and blood's coming down.
Oh, God.
Yeah. So, but I was just pushing people. I wasn't even like fighting. I was just like, hey, go away. Just go.
Right. You're trying to
separate.
Yeah.
But, I mean, that was just, and then I went home in an ambulance, but I've never like cops.
Nothing with cops.
I always understood that like, I don't want to go to jail. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
I don't think I've gotten drunk enough to
get in trouble for it. I don't know why I picture you just in crazy situations. Here's another assumption. Are you someone who like says yes to everything? Like if someone's like, let's do this right now, this crazy thing. Let's go hot air ballooning, Andrew. Do you want to go?
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you someone who tends to say yes to like adventures and shit?
I want to be.
Oh, okay. But maybe not quite yet. It's not a bad thing.
It's weird. It's I'm figuring that out. I'm like trying to I never really had like boundaries with myself. I could easily get pushed into doing things when I was younger.
Oh,
that kind of thing where I just be like,
nice?
I do stuff I didn't want to do. So now I'm like, I want to do stuff I want to do, but I also, like I said, like from like a spiritual standpoint, I think it's good to challenge and do things that I intellectually don't like or dislike, just to do things, just saying yes. I think saying yes is a good thing.
Just experience.
Yeah. So
yes to experiences.
Yeah. And yeah. And not trying to manipulate circumstances. But, yeah.
I like that. I mean, that's so much of getting older too. Like really just doing exactly what you want to do. It's really, I feel like it's empowering.
And that's what I do. I go home at night and eat
chocolate. I think it's empowering to say no to shit you don't want to do as an adult.
Yeah.
Whereas like when you were younger, you, like you said, you might do things you don't want to do
all the time.
But like sometimes like people will ask me to go to comedy shows, like when I'm not on a show, and I'll just go, no, I don't want to.
Nice. It does feel good. Yeah.
And it's like no disrespect to my peers or like anything, but it's just like, yeah, no, in this moment, watching comedy is the last thing I want to do.
Mm-hmm. I want to get to that point where I can just bluntly be like,
no, I don't want to.
I try sometimes when they ask at like the cashiers and they're like, can I have your phone number? And I'll just be like, no. And it's like this awkward pause and be like, okay, that's $12.99.
I usually say, no, that's okay.
Yeah.
That's usually, but even still, it would be nice to just say no.
I just find it pleasant to just be like, no.
I talked about this on a previous episode. But
not rudely. I don't try and do it rudely.
Yeah, no, you don't.
No.
You can be nice about it, but just like, yeah, no. Or even like, no, thank you. But there was one time on the phone with a telemarketer. I think they were. And asking me if I could answer some questions. And in the moment I went, Sarah, you just got to say no. None of this. Now's a bad time. Can you call back? And I was just like, no. Or I said no. And then they were like, is there a better time to call back? And I went, no.
Never.
And I felt so bad. But it also felt good on some level of like, just like, yeah, okay. I just said the word.
They're doing their job.
They're
But some of
doing
those
their
are
job.
fun.
I feel
Sometimes those are
bad.
really fun. They appreciate that. If you can crack a joke to a telemarketer, they appreciate it. I did one time with this lady, and she like thanked me. She was like, "Oh, thank you. I've had a really bad day, and there's so many assholes, blah blah blah." And it's just nice to not be berated by someone.
So you did a survey, but you were like kind of having fun with it?
I can't remember.
Right.
Someone called me, and I was nice to them. And I cracked a joke. I can't remember what I said.
I do think the practice of empathy is insanely important.
Yeah.
Like literally just the idea of like putting yourself in someone else's shoes.
I want to practice insane empathy.
Insane, like kind of
boundless empathy.
Mm-hmm.
Because people have boundaries on their empathy.
Oh, there is for sure.
I'll have empathy for someone whose cat died, but not if they're part of the convoy.
That's right.
I can't have empathy for someone that's part of the convoy, or this or that.
That's a lot of people.
We're not going to get anywhere if you choose sides.
Yeah. No, I think
it's hard because
I think I would agree.
People are doing crazy shit that
is
inexplicable.
No, you're right. But it is, again, it's understanding the human experience and how it's different for literally everyone, even the people that are so different from us. And so even if like they're doing things that we don't like and we're against, they are like, we were all, isn't it crazy that we were all born newborn babies? All of us. And like just grew up into these people. You know what I mean? Like, and it's wild.
We've all been on this. Like, I had this thought of like, we have all been on this earth together. Like this group, this batch
of people. Yeah.
Yeah. Like no one else will experience Robin Williams ever again. But we got to see Robin Williams.
Yeah, that's right.
That's crazy. You know, like, one of the greats.
Yeah.
And you're here and I'm here. And we were born around the same time. That's pretty cool. Part of the same batch.
There was a Reddit post once that was like, at some point in history, no one will know you. Like, very far down the line. Like,
as right now, no one knows.
No one knows us.
Yeah.
But just the idea of like eventually your legacy will die.
Yeah.
And no one will know your name, who you were. I mean, that
even
is
if you have a statue.
That goes so deep, dude. Like just the idea of that. God, this is fucking deep. But like you mentioned LSD. Are you big into like hallucinogens or anything?
I support them. I don't do them, or I haven't done them in some time now.
Right. But just the idea of like, this is only like our casing.
Relatively real.
Yeah, exactly. Is only like a part of the picture of what's out there.
That is how I don't understand anything.
No.
With regards to that or anything. I mean, I do support that this is one plane of reality.
Yeah, I do
too. I don't know why, and I don't understand. Like, this is all I know.
Yes. Yeah.
That exists.
Yeah.
So I've never had some sort of experience beyond this other than LSD, and I don't even fucking really remember what happened. I don't
okay.
I remember, but I don't know what was happening in that moment. It was overwhelming. So it wasn't like one of those experiences of like, I saw heaven and Jesus came down and
it was.
I understand the universe now. Like none of that. It was confusion. Madness.
It's interesting. I think it's a mental thing because I recently did a sensory deprivation tank.
I saw your post on it. Was Instagram.
I did it for my birthday on Saturday, and I think I was romanticizing the idea of a sensory deprivation tank, being like, I'm going to go in there and I'm going to be so calm and I'm going to actually meditate. Like, I do try to meditate. I really do. I really can't do it for any more than 5 to 10 minutes before I snap out of it. I have a real problem with slowing down and just being present without falling asleep.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Oh,
like
definitely.
It's a big issue for me in my life. So it's doing this tank was like one of the many things I'm going to try to to slow the fuck down, be present in my body again. But like I did it, and it was cool. It was really fucking cool. But like I was going in there going, I'm gonna see things and I'm gonna have visions and I'm gonna tap into parts. And I was just like, no, I was having a nap in water. You know?
That's hilarious.
Which was still great.
Having a nap in water.
Naked. The flotation tank.
Salty water.
Salty water.
Warm, but not too warm water.
I'm trying to work a joke being like, you know, I'm dealing with the lack of a baby in my womb by going into a womb. Like literally it's supposed to feel like you're in the womb. like I'm recreating that. But yeah, no, I had this like kind of all these expectations as to what it would be like. And then I realized, no, I think that those things will come to me when I'm mentally ready for them. And things like meditation, sensory deprivation tank, maybe even yoga, if I start doing yoga, stuff like that is all going to help me slow the fuck down so I can tap into that side. But it's not going to happen instantly.
Definitely.
You know, like it's not something that you're just going to get. It's a whole process.
It seems like it does. It seems like it would.
Right? Well, I mean, ayahuasca here is pretty fucking insane.
I did that once.
What? You did?
Yeah. But it wasn't. I've been told it wasn't authentic, an authentic experience, I should say, because I talked to someone that went to several. She married a Peruvian man who was like an assistant to ayahuasca retreats in Peru, and so. She was very hoity-toity about the whole thing and like, oh no, you can't do it. It's not like a true experience unless you want to be as close to where you get the plant as possible.
That's
which
right.
I totally agree with now in hindsight, but it was what it was, and the opportunity arose when it did and how it did, and I just accepted it. And it was in Ontario.
In Ontario, really?
Yeah, on a random tree farm.
No way.
And like my buddy's been he grabs my hand and pulls me, and I just go, okay, this is the thing I was telling you about.
This is with my assumption. I feel like you're going for it. You're going with the people, you know, like
yeah. Because I don't know if it's a yes man or a confused man that's trying to find help somewhere, but
man who can't say no.
Man who can't say no. But I could tell, you know, he was getting benefits, like because I was going through, you know, everybody goes through their shit, and I was going through my shit.
We'll get to that later.
And and then he was like, "Hey man, LSD." And hey man, meditation. Hey man, ayahuasca. And I was like, it seems to be working for you. So okay, I don't want to, but I'm scared. But okay. And so yeah, and ended up doing ayahuasca, and it benefited me in ways. But also, I just didn't know. I didn't understand any of this stuff. I still, you know, have very little understanding of it. Like the next day we went to a Blue Jays game. And had I known, I did not know, like, give yourself some fucking grace time before entering society, especially such a like loud, obnoxious environment.
What was that like? Was it tough? Like,
it was, for me, I was just like, this is trippy. It was
sensory
like,
overload.
Well, I was analyzing things on different levels and being like, have you ever seen They Live?
No.
They Live is this movie with Roddy Piper, John Carpenter movie, sick movie. I would highly recommend. It's one of my favorite movies. Like a sci-fi, but it's very much now and very much. So it's basically about this guy who finds these sunglasses, he puts them on and tells them the truth of what's going on in society. And then so where like the billboards are, where you see like this glamorous person like, ooh, drink, eat. It just says obey when he puts the glasses on. Obey. And so then all this is like this whole mastermind thing created by aliens is what it comes down to. It's super trippy. Yeah. And it's like, ooh, what is this based on? Is this, you know, and whoa. And so, the mind gets carried away with these kind of things. And so I was basically like I was just like, ooh, what is this? What am I? I'm a human. Like watching a baseball game. Look at this guy. He's a human being throwing a baseball, and we've evolved for many years. And now
we're in a stadium that kind of looks like a spaceship.
Oh, I never thought that. Yeah.
I need to know though, what was ayahuasca like? Do you remember?
Yes. I remember.
Yeah.
For me, my experience was intense. I remember I was scared going into it. I was worried that I would be dealing with death because I'm scared of death. I really I fear death.
Ding that bell. We'll connect good on this subject.
I didn't notice there was a bell.
Oh my god! I need to make a supercut of me not telling my guests about the bell and them discovering it for the first time.
I did. I witnessed it before.
It's
but I don't know what it means.
Positive reinforcement. Like yes, like good point, or I agree.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Yes. It's a yes bell.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Great. Okay.
Yeah.
Like Pavlov's dog.
Yes, that's exactly what it is.
Start drooling now.
Yeah. Peter Anthony, I dinged it for him, and he was so confused. He goes, "Are my fries done?"
Oh, what a legend!
Yeah, he's a fucking legend.
Shit.
Yeah. So what was it? So did you see things? Was it more of a feeling?
More of a feeling, I'd say, and yeah. Well, I went in. My mind was racing. I was so scared, so anxious because I didn't want to because part of this the whole journey for me is just facing fears. I feel like that's a big thing.
Oh,
it's great. It's
love that.
Like doing things I'm scared to do has taught me a lot.
Yes.
So even though I was super scared and anxious and my mind's running and stuff, I knew I'd been meditating and stuff like that before. So that helped me kind of just be more
open to it,
an observer to what I was going through than to be completely caught up in it.
Right.
But still scary. And then I just remember looking up at this tree, and it just felt like there was just this immense energy happening, and the leaves were blowing, and it was just everything was just whoosh, whooshing, and I was just like, hold on. So I'm lying down. So we're all lying down in a circle,
and your eyes open.
And my eyes were open. So I didn't want to close them. I was like, what the fuck's gonna happen if I close my eyes? So, and there was a shaman, and I guess he had already given us one dose of the ayahuasca, and actually if you wanted, you could go up and get more, like a second. I can't remember if you could do more, 3, but you could definitely do 2. Oof. And then he came around, and I was just at this point, and he came around, he's like, how are you? Would you like some more? And I was like, no. And so it was intense. My friend went up and he got more. He's ruthless. And then and I remember closing my eyes, going through some stuff. I don't remember a specific thing that came up during that period, but I remember getting up, and it was sunny then by the time I stood up. And I thought, I felt happy and and lighter, and everything looked really bright and colorful. And I was like, oh, it's done now. It's over. And then I saw people dancing together, and 2 people were talking, which I didn't think we were supposed to remain separate, right? And couples remained at different sides of the circle because
it's an individual experience.
It's an individual journey. You shouldn't
be interacting.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So and then there's streamers, these visual hallucinations, someone would run and I could see this visual behind them, and then I was like, whoa, and I was like, no, I want to feel, but and then as soon as that happened, I was like, why isn't she talking to me? They're friends, but what about me? And then I just sat by myself. I walked away. I sat by myself at the edge of the tree farm, looked up at the sun, and thought about Hitler. I don't know why. I just sat there reflecting Jesus, it's so sad that someone could be so angry at the world and other people, they could just kill, like, wow. I don't know where it came from or why. I just like was just thinking, just wow, I don't,
Interesting.
it wasn't, and not, I don't know if ayahuasca brought that out or what the reason was, but yeah. And then I saw my friend and we did this thing where like, we ran at each other and hugged each other. And then the shaman was like, no, sit back down. And you're not allowed, because even friends, you're not allowed to like touch and hug and stuff. And then I realized, oh, this is just the beginning. It was like probably only a couple hours in.
Oh, shit.
And then I stayed up until it wasn't even sundown. We started at like 4 maybe, and it wasn't sundown. And then I didn't go to bed until sun up. I don't even know if I went to bed. Yeah, it was a wild experience.
Holy
it was very
shit,
intense,
dude. Holy fuck.
Well, I wanted to watch the sunrise too, but I couldn't sleep. And now the whole intense part of the trip didn't last that whole time, but there was this residual highness for sure. And like my mind was very active and very confused, and that kept going.
That's so crazy. Like, because I always hear of people who've done it, and who've had like visions of their life and shit. And it seems,
I never had that.
It seems insane. I don't know if I could do it. But again, going back to facing fears, like my thing is I'm also terrified of death. But giving up control is a big fear of mine.
Same.
So things like being put under for surgery, being under anesthesia, I'm terrified of. I've only had it done once in my life. So I did conquer that.
Mm-hmm.
I experienced that, and I now know you're gonna be okay. Like, you'll wake up. You'll go to sleep for like what will feel like 2 seconds, and then wake up all groggy. But yeah, it's the giving up of control thing, and that's why like I really haven't done a lot of drugs in my life. But like that's so like just the idea of like letting go of that and just doing it is an interesting concept, because we let anxiety hold us back so much that like I don't know where it was, probably an Instagram reel or something, but like someone said that like if you have anxiety, you just gotta do the thing that makes you anxious, because if you don't, the anxiety wins.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like you shouldn't live in fear your whole life, kind of thing.
Well, the more I've meditated and done yoga, it's helped give me space between what I see as myself and what I don't see as myself. And I don't see my thoughts as being an integral part of my existence.
Whoa!
And it's just kind of like giving space and being like, thoughts are great and my mind is great and intellect is great, but not letting it run my life and rule me.
There it is right there.
And once there's that space, then and that's the goal of meditation, is just constantly trying to give that space, because it's so hard to do it regularly. I would often get so sucked back into anxiety and sadness and all the depression, whatever.
Yeah.
So,
do you meditate every day?
Pretty well.
Really?
Yeah.
When you first wake up?
Yes.
Yeah. For how long? God, so many questions. I'm asking a lot because I'm very interested in it. I downloaded the Waking Up app and I've been trying, very much so trying to, but
that's it. Do
just
anything. Do yeah. I used to go to, I hated meditation. I hated yoga. I would go to, but I would try, and it was on and off for many years. But my friend, thankfully I had this friend that was just like, he was just like, no, come on, do this, man. Let's try it. And we lived together, and he'd be like, come on, let's do it. And he was really into it. And I mean, I'm sure it wasn't a painless process for him either, but I think he was more understanding of its positive benefits, while I was completely fine just like sitting on the couch and watching TV and escaping. But then I would try like 5 minutes in the morning, 5 minutes at night. That's it. And
Okay.
just do small amounts. 20 minutes I heard is a good baseline. 20 minutes in the morning, 20 minutes a night. And then, that will cause some change, some good changes.
There's people who can teach you to meditate, right? Like classes on, like that's something that I think I would do. And I would, like I said, I need to be accountable. Like I have to feel that accountability to do something. So the idea of like a class or someone teaching me how to meditate is very appealing to me, because I feel like otherwise I'm going to put it off. But it is a practice.
It's hard.
It's
fucking hard.
It's so hard. It's like the number one thing in my life right now is to just find that balance and peacefulness. And it's fucking hard when life is so busy to do that. But that's so fascinating to me. See, I would have never known this about you if we hadn't come here tonight. We're gonna shift gears radically now,
okay,
and get into rant. So we're gonna go from positive, peaceful calmness to what's pissing you off or bugging you. Something just like that you don't like, that's bugging you right now.
Well, I was floating around. I was thinking about like, yoga, actually, meditation. Okay. Yeah. And just, but then, okay, what if I don't have like a rant, because I don't
is there maybe a
like
misconception about those things that bugs you, that like the public people might have about it?
Okay, I just it saddens me when maybe this is a good rant. There's people on the left and there's people on the right. Mm-hmm. And neither is really cares what the other has to say.
Right.
And it's, I find that I don't identify as a side, right? And maybe I should, but I don't. Mm-hmm. And I get along with people equally on the left that have very strong left views, and people on the right that have very strong right views or whatever. I guess my rant would be, I wish people would just get along. I guess I
learn
don't know.
more about each other. Maybe
isn't that cheesy? Just I don't know what it is, but I don't know if there's a answer. Well, maybe we have to do this. Maybe we have to just. Some people just have to hate each other and go let this all out for us to move forward. I don't fucking know, but it seems like both sides are complaining about the same thing. Right,
and not listening to each other in any way.
And not like talking about empathy, not giving the time to actually hear that the other person is just as equally sad and angry. Like people are like, so I know some people and they clash really poorly, and one is angry at the other because they do a comedy show in a venue where the venue is owned by someone that was up for assault charges, say. So there's a very touchy subject matter, right?
Right.
And
this isn't Halifax.
No.
Okay. Just to confirm.
This is Newfoundland, but I know two sides.
Okay.
And then one, and both are very upset at the other.
Yeah.
Right. But here's the thing, but they're blaming the other person. They're like, it's all this person's fault. Why do they act like this?
Yeah.
Why are they being such a bitch or whatever? And then the other person's like, why are they being such a dick?
Yeah.
But like both people in this situation are complaining.
That's right.
And creating this
and pointing fingers at each other.
Yeah. Because the thing is, both think they're right.
Yes.
One person's like, I'm choosing to have a show in this venue. It doesn't matter to me who owns the venue. This venue, the comedy show, this show is a different thing. Mm-hmm. Mind your own business. Mm-hmm. And the other person's like, no, this venue you're not creating a safe space. This venue is a negative place. Fuck you. I'm going to call you out. Right. And so, but no, who's right? Who's wrong? Right? Because both are right in their own individual sense.
They're both right in their own minds. People who are on, I guess, like the periphery of it. I mean, I think that there's value in saying not picking sides, like you said, or being what people would call Switzerland. Like, you know, like I'm neutral. I'm in the middle. I see both sides of it.
Maybe that's a cowardly. I'm trying to figure out.
No, I don't think
that's a cowardly position. Maybe I should make an active decision, but I empathize with both of them.
Well, and that's the thing too. It takes insane self-awareness to see the other side of a very shitty person or someone who did something really shitty. And also, I think when you're talking about an argument or like two people arguing, pointing at each other, something that like I tend to practice is like in every situation that I might be pissed at someone for, I try to sit back and go, what's my role in this? What did I do? Even if it's a small thing. And not everyone can look within themselves to figure out what they did wrong. So that's what I find interesting about this day and age. It's a lot of, here we go, I'm going to say it, it's a lot of victim mentality.
Ooh, wow. Touchy. That's a touchy subject.
But it is cozy. It's cozy in there. It's cozy to say, I'm feeling this way because you did this. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah. I mean, you're obviously, from the way I'm hearing you're not looking to disrespect anyone.
No, and I'm not talking about any specific situation, but I'm saying it's easy to victimize ourselves. It's so easy to do that.
I've done it.
To fall into like this hopeless place. I just think that, I don't know. I feel like there's a lesson to be learned in every situation. And to think that you are such a perfect person that you don't get to learn a lesson, even if you've been hurt. Like, I don't know. Am I making sense? I might not be.
Yeah. Well, I just think people are talking in different languages.
That's what it is. Well, there was an interesting moment on the podcast, actually. Do you know Scott McLean? So he and I are good friends, really good friends. Perfect example of people who are constantly fighting, he and I, but we agree to disagree. And we sit through uncomfortable conversations. We have them.
Nice. Oh, that's great.
And that's, I guess, what I mean when I say, like, it's just easy to go, no, this is how it is, and woe is me. And not sit and go like, well, why do you think that? Or here's my perspective. What's yours? Like the conversation around certain subjects. Like, I think people are just afraid to sit in. People don't want to be uncomfortable. That's what it comes down to.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. So like, it's just easier to go, you're bad. You suck.
Clearly, the world has come to a state where it's not a great place, and change is great, but also maybe there are, certain values from both sides that we can kind of commingle.
There it is. I love that.
But maybe we'll never get there. Maybe we will. Maybe it doesn't need to happen.
But we are in a world of extremism.
Yeah, and so a lot of people don't want change. A lot of people want change.
And picking, and I am this. This is, like identifying as left or right. And like staying in that box and not even hearing out the other side. Yeah, I agree. It's frustrating.
I get it too, because it's like, it must be annoying to just always hear some of the views that bring up emotions in you.
But that's what you gotta do. You gotta cut through that shit.
Yeah.
And that's what I think so many people avoid. And that's the thing right there. Get uncomfortable, everybody. Learn to be uncomfortable. All right. That was a good rant.
Yeah. I feel like I have to. It's a delicate, like, ooh.
Yeah, that was a delicate subject. Okay, so we're gonna shift gears back into you, Andrew. So this segment is where I find out what's wrong with you.
Oh yeah.
So you mentioned like embracing meditation and stuff like that. Was that to heal something that might have happened, or like mental illness or anxiety? Like, what you got? What's your cocktail of messiness?
Currently?
Yeah, if you have one currently, but if you don't, maybe speak to like when you did have in the past.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe you don't have one currently. That could very well be.
There's always something. Like,
so is there anything you're working on right now personally?
Lazily, maybe. Like sugar. I love sugar. Wait,
chocolate. Chocolate.
Like I think I am addicted, and people.
Oh God,
it's funny. Several people have pointed out, like, oh, hey, you love sugar. You are a sweet tooth, that kind of thing. It's funny. I'm not just like always eating chocolate bars, but yeah.
Is it a crutch?
I don't know. Maybe in some way it's a comfort. Yeah, I like, there's like a nice thing where it's just like, like I go home. It's like I like fantasize about it. I'll go home and I'll eat a chocolate bar or eat some cookies and watch a TV or something.
Is it
extreme?
Feels
it's nice.
Extreme, or like you have a little bit?
This seems hilarious to talk about. I like cookies. Yeah, I don't have depression or anxiety. I just really like cookies.
No, I love it. Listen, it's a good change of pace.
But that's where we're starting. I mean, clearly, look at me. I've been through some stuff. No, I don't know. I
mean, I can tell. But is it a legit addiction, or is it just kind of a bad habit?
I don't know. I wouldn't say that.
Probably just a bad habit.
No, I'm just kind of being.
Also,
I'm exaggerating.
You're very in shape, so.
Oh, thank you.
Screw you for being able to eat all those cookies and chocolate without gaining any weight.
I'm just playing with the desires of my my body and my mind. So I just like, oh yeah, I'm feeling cookies. I'm feeling this. I'll eat it. Let's go. I feel like inevitably it'll run its course. Is how I look at things.
Are you pretty healthy otherwise, in terms of your diet?
Yeah, that's pretty funny. I'll eat like a salad and then I'll eat like 5 cookies.
Well, then life's all about balance. You got the balance.
Yeah.
You also, I want to go back to what you mentioned about death and your fear of death. Is that something that is very like?
That's exciting. Yeah.
Exciting? Is that the right word? Is that very like prominent in your life, like in your everyday life, or what? What's that?
No, not. I'm not like constantly walking around fearing it. I do tell myself every day that I'm going to die. Like one day, not today. Like I'm not like I'm going to die right now, and like actively trying to die. No, but I'll wake up and I'll be like, one day I'm going to die.
That's interesting. So you're kind of trying to normalize it for yourself?
Yeah, like I'd heard about Buddhists doing it. Like Buddhists being around, like having like skulls on their desks and stuff, or like being around death. The idea of like just being aware of our mortality, and then that making us live.
It's inevitable.
Yeah, exactly. But like people shy away from it.
They do. Well, because again, going back to control, people don't like to be out of control. So some people think of like death as an inevitability as like scary because we can't control it. We don't know when it's going to happen. But like, I guess if you think about it, like, there's literally nothing you can do. It's going to happen and you can't fucking stop it. So why are we stressing?
Yeah.
Because that's just preventing you from living.
This is all I know.
Right? Well, like, yeah, no, I have an extreme fear of it and generalized anxiety disorder. So it's certainly something that I deal with every single day. But yeah, it's a scary thing to deal with.
Is it on your mind frequently?
Oh yeah, every day.
Death?
Yeah.
Oh, like you're
Like
scared to die? Like, a bus is coming my way. I don't want to get hit and this and that. Oh, that kind of thing. Cool. Fascinating. Super cool.
Cool. I think if I ever had like a therapist or if I ever like got hypnotized or something, that I would like to dig into that and why that is.
I know
some
someone
theories.
that does hypnotism.
Do you really? Like for therapy?
She's on pause right now, but she might open up to people sometime. If you ever want to.
Would love to maybe investigate that just because there's kind of a theory that like, I don't know if you believe in past lives or anything like that.
Oh, yeah.
But like that maybe I had like a horrific death in a past life and maybe that's why.
It's the karma.
Oh, good boy. I don't like it. Yeah, right?
Well, the way I see it is all this stuff is shadows. It's all just our mind, right? It's like a shadow play, right? And it's like, but it seems, it's like the boogeyman. Like, holy fuck, at night, go to bed. Like, I'd go to bed at night. I'd be scared to put my hand down because I thought there was a monster under my bed. But often, not in every case, but often there's nothing there.
Of course.
It's just a shadow.
And for me, it's the sketchy person on the bus has never had a gun, Sarah. But I've gotten off buses because I've had bad vibes from people. Same. One time I was in a streetcar in Toronto, and I was sitting down with my girlfriend at the time, and a guy came and sat next to us, and they put on a luchador mask. Oh God, like that's Nacho terrifying. Libre, and we're just sitting there like, let's get up on this next stop. Yeah, man. Like it's real bad. Like I really I don't know why the bus is such a big thing, but like I guess it's just the idea of like, it's mundane. It's a mundane routine to get on a bus and just go to your job, and it feels like if something were to happen, like people would not expect something to happen on a bus. So my mind goes to worst case scenario every time I get on a bus. You like to stay vigilant. Yes. Yeah, big time. I feel like I feel like the anxiety is like almost a good thing sometimes. Do you have a weapon? Do you keep a weapon with you? No, but I should. No mace or anything, or like you don't have keys in your hand, in your fingers? I've done that. Yeah, you've done that? Yeah. Not all the time, but sometimes. Not all the time. Like, I'm just hyper aware of my surroundings, but at the same time it's weird to say this. I have a narrow focus. I'm focused on my destination, but my peripheries are really good. I'm always looking around. Cause again, I'm just scared of everything. It's fun. Is that part of the generalized anxiety? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. This is like a whole new thing for me because I, for some reason, never thought I was anxious. But everyone around me was like, Sarah, you're scared of dying every day. You're very anxious. It sounds like a positive thing, though, that you like, at least you've noticed it. Yes. Yeah, big time. Yeah. Yeah, for sure. But okay. So anything else wrong with you? I'm sure. Yeah. What's a character flaw you're working on? Or maybe something like that you're trying to fix? The ego, pretentiousness. Ooh, really? You think you're pretentious? Definitely. Yeah. Really? That comes, it passes, clouds pass through, I'm sure. Oh, yeah. Really? Like, I deserve this. I should be this. That kind of thing. Oh, okay. Got it. How are you working on it?
Oh, okay. Even like, I get it. I'm here in Halifax. I'm new to the scene, but like, I'm like in my mind, I'm like, I should be on Yuck Yucks. I should be doing
getting booked. Yeah,
I get it though, because obviously there's people that have been here longer than me, and they're doing that kind of thing. But my ego's like, come on, put me on, kind of thing. Honestly, I don't know where my skill level lies in comparison to other people.
Right.
My ego certainly wants it to be higher, but whatever. Again, this is like, it's part of the journey.
Well, you're self-aware about it.
Try to be.
So that's a good thing.
I definitely like, and even this, like, ooh, I'm spiritual. Ooh, look at me. Like, I'll just talk about this and that, and like, I feel like there's a pretentiousness with how I act sometimes. Yeah, for sure.
Do you find that do you see yourself as someone who's like self-involved? Is that how you
masturbate a lot? Is that what you're talking about?
Well, because comedy is such an individual thing, like you have colleagues and stuff, but it's an individual art, so to speak. I do feel like it runs the risk of becoming maybe on the narcissism scale, but like again, you mentioned ego, like you're constantly thinking about your jokes and your stage time and me. It's a me kind of art, and it can be easy to get caught up in that.
Yeah, I'm definitely sick.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah. I've been trying to work on this thing of like incorporating other people and trying to, let's do this as a team. Let's all build up and not focus on me being better than people or this kind of thing. But it's hard because that is the nature of the game, it seems, too. Like right?
You got to focus on you.
But maybe it isn't. Maybe it isn't. Maybe that's just what people have been doing, is like climbing over other people to win. But like, I've wondered that with like the smaller scenes, if like we could only kind of get along, maybe we could all help. Like this,
help
you
each
have
other.
a podcast. This is a great selfless act, and maybe obviously you get joy out of it. You're doing it for your personal reasons, but you're also promoting a whole scene, and you're inviting people. Like that's a very great thing.
Thank you for saying that, because sometimes I do think it's the most selfish thing I could do. Like sometimes it does feel very selfish, but then I have to remind myself as well that like I never signed a podcast contract when like I have guests. Guests are my focus. So I do have to remind myself of that.
It might be selfish if the whole time you invited me here and then you just talked the whole time. Maybe that if you're just like, hey, do you like my house and this podcast?
I try to be aware of that.
I think that would be then, but
yeah.
You're great. You keep a great flow and you ask questions, good questions.
I try to, because I don't want to make it like an interview. Like it's a conversation, but I do want the focus to be on the guest. Mm-hmm. Going back to what you said about like the small scene and not getting caught up in yourself and wanting to help, but also wanting. I do think with stand-up, it's like you do really have to just look out for yourself, because I do think ultimately no one else is going to look out for you in comedy other than you. You're going to be the best person to look out for yourself in comedy. You're going to have supporters, like friends of yours that will probably like recommend you to people and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, you can only rely on yourself. But it is this weird balance of helping others to a point. Does that make sense? Not helping others, not helping others too much, that it takes away from your personal development as a comic. Because I've run into that issue.
I don't know. Is it from a place of, I can't help them too much because then they'll be better than me?
Could be that,
or is it that I can't be helping them with their writing because I'm not giving myself time to write?
It's more that. I think it's more that you're not focusing on your own jokes. You're focusing on other people's jokes.
It's like, even if you are like, hey, can I work out some jokes with you? Then even that, then I'm thinking about joke writing.
You're stretching the muscle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I guess I don't really know.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
I've had very little success. I've had my own personal successes, but I haven't had tangible comedic success from a public scale. So I don't really know what the best thing to do is, but
I feel like, you know what's the most comforting thing in comedy? Having people who've been doing it much longer than you and like pros and stuff also say that they don't know what they're doing. It's comforting because it puts us all. I was talking about this with Peter Anthony last night. Like, it's an equalizer in a weird way. Obviously, there's different talent levels and different levels in comedy. You know, there are levels, but the equalizer is the fact that none of us really know what the fuck we're doing.
Yeah.
From an open micer who's going up there for the second time to like me seeing Peter Anthony last night at Gus's perform for 4 people and do the same, get the same response from them as the new guy who just did his first set there. Fucking fascinating to me.
It is fascinating. Yeah,
fucking
but also
fascinating to me.
There are some, like, if you're selling out an arena, it doesn't matter so much. Like, that is some clear evidence that
oh yeah, for sure. But that's the thing. He's a pro. He's been doing it 20 years. Yeah. And he is the person.
And open mic is going to be relentless to everybody, I guess.
Open mic comedy is fucking ruthless.
I guess that's how it works. Maybe not. I don't know. There's some people, I see them every time. I'm like, they just always seem to be murdering.
But if you ask them, they won't say that.
Probably, yeah, true.
So that's the fascinating thing about, again, like talking to comics on the show or even talking to comics after shows and being like, oh my God, fuck yeah, that was awesome. Oh no, yeah,
Low
it was all right.
self-esteem.
It was okay. It was okay. Could have done better.
Wow.
Oh, but it never ends, Andrew. That's the thing.
Yeah, fuck that.
The self-criticism will never end. Isn't that fucking...
Yeah, it's insane.
I guess it's because we don't have a boss, you know? It's not like we have a boss telling us how we're doing, so we have to be our own bosses.
True.
We have to give our own, like, performance reviews, which is wild.
I'm thinking about chocolate now.
I should have had to. I wish I had known. I could have picked you up something. We do have another segment before I let you go. This is the unpopular opinion. Don't hate me for this, but it's time for an unpopular opinion. So it's similar to a rant, but it's like you're going to put your stance on something out there that you think might be unpopular. And this can be silly or serious. Doesn't matter.
I was thinking of this. This is touchy too. I feel like nobody would nobody wants to talk like, but okay, maybe you can clarify this for me. So, like, I like boobs and stuff.
Unpopular opinion.
Like, it's great.
Yeah.
And I get the whole, like, the free the nipple thing.
Yes.
But I just, it doesn't seem as productive to me as in many groups. And maybe I'm delayed on this. Maybe this has changed. But, like, when, like, women are, like, naked on Instagram and stuff, but it's like a body positive thing,
right?
And like, but like the whole thing of like, fuck dudes, fuck you can't tell me how I should look, so stop being a pervert, but I'll make myself look sexy.
Got you.
And like, yeah, wear what you want to wear, but doesn't that seem It doesn't make sense to me to do that if you want fewer creepy people in your life. Why wear sexy clothes? But then okay, I
get where you're coming from.
I feel like I would get negative responses from both sides because women would be like, dude, I can do whatever the fuck I want. I'll wear whatever I want. And men would be like, shut the fuck up, man. They're putting their tits out on Instagram. You know what I mean? It's like, but to me, it just seems like it's based on likes, right? People are putting themselves out there, showing themselves like these.
It's for validation.
Maybe, I don't know.
I do think
it doesn't seem like a positive thing for someone's personal like being, like to just be like, oh, how many likes did I get on this? Like to put yourself you're putting yourself out on Instagram. What's the reason? Is it really because of you want to feel good about yourself? You want to feel good about yourself based on likes from strangers? And why is nudity a part of it? So that's all my thing. It's like, it's not about like, don't fucking do that because you shouldn't be naked. It's just like, is it really a positive thing for someone's mental state to base their well-being on other people's likes and whether they think they have good tits or not? Like what? I guess that's it. And I feel like on both sides, like dudes and ladies would be like, shut the fuck up.
Well, okay. I'm trying to think of how I can tackle this response to this. I think you're right. I think the issue comes in where it's I think social media is the problem, not so much the like, because I do think there's a powerfulness in women showing flawed bodies or bodies that aren't the perceived conventional standard of what beauty is. You know, the skinny, big boob, perfect skin, like all of this, that a lot of women have grown up with eating disorders because we're trying to look like that. So the media has been shoving this in our throats as like we have to look like this. So there is a powerfulness that I think people feel when they're like, this is me and I feel beautiful and I'm going to post this to inspire other people that they can also feel beautiful if they look like me or if they look different.
True.
But the but on that would be, why is it this performative thing that has to be posted for the currency of likes, reactions, comments, views, whatever that is, the social media side, which goes into like the whole influencer world? And is anything really authentic if you're posting it for that purpose? If an average Jane, let's say someone with like 300 followers posted that, it's just as powerful, but it's not seen as just as powerful because the engagement's not there, which is the fucked up part about social media, right? So I always say, like, look to the people in real life who are living that way, not online, not through Instagram, but, you know, women who are like just dressing good out in real life and they're living presently in the moment and it's not performative. And like, those are the people that are, you know, should also be praised. The performative nature of social media is just very, it does make things feel less authentic. I'm not saying that they are less authentic, but it makes things feel that way. Does that make sense?
Oh, definitely.
Like it's, and then usually there's like a long caption with it that's like really deep and goes into detail and stuff. And you're just like, it's boobs. You know what I mean? Like, I almost enjoy the ones that are sillier more Like Britney Spears being topless on Instagram, just be like, these are my tits. Like, I'm free now, bitches. Like, I almost kind of like that more.
What, did she show her nips?
Oh, yeah, she's all over Instagram.
What?
Oh, yeah, she's posting topless pictures. Like, she covers them with emojis.
Huh.
But, and I could go into a whole rant about Instagram and how they actually shadow ban certain, they tend to shadow ban Black women. But then white women who are showing nipples don't get shadow banned, or they don't get their posts removed. So there's a whole, I mean, like the internet is, I mean, it's, social media is evil. Straight up.
Yeah.
I think so. I think it's all surrounded with making other people feel shitty about themselves.
Yeah, it can.
Because even if your goal is to inspire, other people are going like, well, look at all the likes she's getting. I don't get that many likes. I'm not inspiring people. And it just goes back into this cycle of I'm not good enough.
It's also a great tool. Like, I mean,
yeah. Oh, yeah, totally.
You can see all these great concepts and other parts of the world and other people doing great things. I guess it's also the worst thing as well. It can be used for good or evil.
Yeah.
Did you ever see The Social Dilemma?
Oh, yeah. Oh, Social Dilemma. Yes. The documentary about social media, right?
Yeah.
From when you said that, I instantly thought Social Network. But
yeah.
No, I have seen that.
I thought that was really brilliant. Talking, it was like these people that worked with social media, big social media companies, and they were saying that like these weren't built by psychologists or like people that know about human beings and the brain, and these are built by tech people
who want results, and clicks, and
so it's analytical stuff.
Ads, they want to feed ads. It's just.
And it's talking about like suicide rates with kids, like children killing themselves. I thought that was wild.
But
like if the way I look at it is like if you don't need any of this stuff, if someone's happy within themselves, none of this stuff is necessary. No one needs to promote themselves out to other people, whether they're like no one needs to prove themselves to other people or see other people to feel good about themselves,
which is crazy, right?
It's because, just like building this confidence and strength and understanding and the individual. Because
usually when I see Instagram pictures that like might make me feel jealous or something, I just instantly think that picture probably took 10 hours to edit or take to look perfect. This person's probably stressing over their likes. And then I just go, wow, like I don't want that.
Yeah. Yeah.
At the end of the day.
Making one every day. A lot of people do that. They seem to like, it seems like a whole process.
And the crazy thing is like at the end of it all, at the end of everyone's life, we're all fucking gonna die. And none of it will matter.
Isn't that funny?
None of it will matter.
You think some of it would matter? You know what I mean? Like, is anything?
I mean, I guess you could argue that art does matter, like leaving your art behind. Like when music, like Robin Williams, for example, like, yeah, that fucking. That matters that he died.
I could live without seeing Da Vinci's works, couldn't I? I'd be fine if I didn't see Michelangelo's.
But
I'd go on living. I think I'd be. Am I a better person because of that?
Probably for those people in their last moments, were they thinking about their credits, their work, or were they thinking about the people in their life that they loved, their family? Or like their memories. Like that's kind of what I always think about too. Right.
I was wondering about that because you mean like when they were creating these things?
Well, like everyone lives the life, right? Like not everyone's going to be famous.
Yeah.
Some people are going to work and get famous and get very successful. Others won't. But I do think at the end of it all, if you're on your deathbed and all you're thinking about is all the amazing things you did, or not the amazing things you made for other people, and you're not thinking about your connections with people, or do you know what I mean? I don't know if I'm making sense. When a comedian dies, a lot of times other comedians come out of the woodwork and they just share memories.
Clearly, Durham
of
had
their stories with people.
Big
time.
Impact on this scene.
Big time.
It was definitely a beautiful thing to see.
Big time, but like his close friends probably aren't going. Everyone's gonna acknowledge that he did great things and he built great things, but his close friends are probably going like, I loved that chat we had where we.
Yeah, the moments.
They're going to have the moments that they're going to think about probably more so. Because like, just because someone doesn't do shit doesn't mean that they're not a valuable person.
For sure.
You know? Like some people are just meant to work a 9-to-5 job, but like be a really good friend or a really good mother or a really good, you know what I mean? Like.
You don't need to be famous.
You don't need to be.
That's
followers. I think what I'm like. That's kind of what I'm getting at. Where it's like, I don't know. We're getting so deep on this podcast, but it's just, I really at the end of it all, I don't want to be on my deathbed going, I should have released another 200 episodes, or I should have done 200 more mics. I want to be going like, who am I going to miss?
Yeah.
Or like, what parts of nature am I going to miss seeing?
That's something I got to work on. Is I give up human, like the human interaction
connection
because I've been for years just like, oh, I got to grind. I got to do the comedy like with this result in mind of where I want to be. I need to do that to get there. And it has resulted in like poor relationships with me and
there you go.
Yeah.
Ding ding.
Right?
Ding
ding ding.
Ding that bell. But that's kind of what I'm getting at. Like I do think we get caught up in doing and not living. And that's where I'm at too. I'm trying to strike a balance between doing all this cool stuff, but also having fun, having relationships. I want something on the deathbed that isn't open mics or you know, like I want
what do you want?
Memories with people. Like I don't want to die and have people just go, she made a cool podcast, good for her.
Like genuine, we did this
genuine
thing.
Oh, like
yeah,
like that's my fear.
Even memories are funny because we just like accumulate memories as if it's like some sort of tally on how well we completed life, you know.
Well, no, but that's a great point. Have you had like close people die in your life? Like, have you lost anyone close to you?
You know what? Thankfully, not mega close. My aunt, probably the closest. Not mega close. Not going well.
Right.
I am superstitious, and kind of close friends, people I played like sports with, but not like my closest family or closest friends. Again,
that's good. Yeah. Because it is a strange.
How are you?
It is a strange thing when people die, where you like, you either speak up or you don't about like that person, like publicly, and there is this weird pressure to like post memories or stories, and like sometimes we don't always have one specific memory, but it's just like a feeling we had with that person.
Yeah.
Or like we got to be a certain like version of ourselves with that person that we didn't get to be with other people. Like that's kind of how I think of. That's cool. That's kind of how I think of people when they die. Like I kind of think of that rather than like specific stories. But like I would love to have stories too. That'd be nice.
That to me is the beauty of relationships.
Yeah.
The seeing parts of ourselves
in other people.
Yeah.
It is. It's really cool.
We like Ram Dass. Have you ever heard of Ram Dass?
No, it says
Ram Dass. Oh, you'd like his story. Ram Dass used to be a psychology professor at Harvard, and then his friend Tim Leary, who was also a professor there, introduced him to psilocybin. to mushrooms, and then he ended up like, this guy is like in his like 40s, I think, or maybe older. And then Ram Dass, or his name used to be Richard Alpert, and then he changed it to Ram Dass after he went to India for so many years, was given that name. And then I believe it's like, it means something about like a servant of God kind of thing. And then, so yeah, he went to India in searching for a guru, and he found a guru there, and he gave him LSD because he got like really into psychedelics, and he was so curious about this understanding of the mind and spirit through psychedelics. And then he was like, I got to go to India and find a guru because he heard maybe they'd have an answer for me. And he gave the guru like this extremely high dose of LSD, and the guru's name was Neem Karoli Baba. And he just sat there and he was unchanged by it. He was like, oh yeah. And so it's like, and then something Ram Dass says like that. It's like, when you're already in Detroit, you don't need to take a bus to Detroit. So it's, I guess the idea there is that he's already experiencing certain planes of existence that is encapsulated already. LSD, that plane of existence that is brought in during LSD that you experience during LSD, perhaps he's already experiencing that. He's already acting on all planes. So, but Ram Dass, the reason I brought up Ram Dass is that he talked about, like, he has a podcast as well.
Ooh.
He's actually no longer in this living human state.
No longer with us on this plane.
But he mentioned this thing about, he said, like, a loved one, it's like we grow this attachment to people after they die because they showed us love. Mm-hmm. You know, like they opened up the spot in us, that we didn't know we could have, say.
That's right.
Right? Ugh. And then we say, only that person can bring up this love in me, when in actuality the love is there. We just have to, nurture it in ourselves. But we create this attachment to other people because we're like, you're the only person that showed me this or that allowed me to feel this.
That's powerful.
Yeah.
That's pretty powerful.
Yeah.
Fuck, man. Christ. The things that we've gotten into tonight.
It's fun.
I fucking loved it. I mean, holy
exciting.
Shit. This is a different book. I love it. I'm done.
I could have ranted about Halifax too, but
I mean, do you have any? You can listen, pop off right now if you want. Do you have any weird things about the city that you think is fucked up or weird?
Well, I think you need to hate yourselves more.
There we go. Okay, why? Why do we need to hate ourselves more?
You need to acknowledge how shitty this place is. You don't do it enough here. Newfoundland, we constantly, like, this is the worst.
Do you mean
place.
Halifax is a bit, like, maybe stuck up?
I don't know what Halifax is. There needs to be some, there's a delusion. There's too much delusion in Halifax. There's like this aroma of, it's the best place I've ever been in my life. I'm
you need to hang out with me more.
Content here.
I complain every fucking day. Don't you
I'm just
worry.
So used to running into random people in Newfoundland. Be like, "Why is the worst? Weather here is something bad. I can't wait to leave," but they never leave. And here it's like no one complains about it, which is a great thing. But yeah, I don't know. And it's odd. Like, it's a very, very progressive city. Not a bad thing. Not a bad thing. They even have like those little like flags at the crosswalks.
Oh yes.
You don't need that.
So what you're saying is we don't have a nitty grittiness to us like Newfoundland does.
It's not about nitty gritty. It's like
resilience.
you just need to relax more and not give as many fucks.
Okay.
And like you don't need to, like, if someone's complaining about crossing the sidewalk, like the fucking crosswalk, you don't need a flag. You don't need to be like, yeah, okay, we'll give you a flag too. Okay.
Well, the thing is,
and like you close all the time. You're like, you got a little bit, you got a sprinkle of snow, and then your power lines are down, and like nobody has power, and I don't know what's going on with that.
That is something I will agree with you on. We are weather pussies here.
Big weather pussies.
We are very quick to bail on plans at any slight snowflake on the ground. And also the weather panic is like, have you ever been in like a Sobeys or a Walmart like the night before a storm and you see people like preparing for like the end of the world?
Yeah.
Like, it's madness.
Yeah, I went once, and this was in Newfoundland, and they were like, oh, it was a big storm. We actually had this storm in Newfoundland, and it was like 7-day power outage. And so someone just before that, they went to the store, and I was like, you get your good, like get what you need to get kind of thing, like only what you need. You can only go to the store, get what you need. And someone just had like fucking a bag of chips, Pepsi, and a caramel bar.
That's me.
What a great, what a great time of society where like you're not really too worried about starving. You just get some chips and chocolate.
That's a depressed person. They're they're like, I'm going to do the bare minimum and go out with the joy of sugar and salty treats.
Oh, this is their last night on Earth. This is.
Do you ever think about
the
that?
Last hurrah.
The last night on Earth. What you do. This podcast has been one of the deeper podcasts I've ever had, I think.
Oh, cool.
So let's end it with a big question, which is like, what would you do on your last night? In this, so you're not in Newfoundland, right? Your life right here in Halifax right now. What would you do last night?
Be joyful. Just try to be joyful, and if I could bring joy to other people, that'd be great. And work
do a comedy
on
show?
enlightenment. I would try to be enlightened, whatever that means. Yeah, strive for that.
Like maybe just like, would you
go beyond the body and mind? I guess
meditate. Like you'd.
Yeah, I probably would. In all actuality, I'd probably just, if I knew I was gonna die, I would probably just meditate and do yoga. Yeah. I don't know what could offer me a better, because I would want to die peacefully is the thing. I always thought it would be kind of, I also want to die in a funny way. You know what I mean? Oh, who was it? I think
Kyle, or something?
Have you ever heard of Kyle Kinane?
Why is that? It's very familiar to me, that name, but
he's a comic. He's really funny. I'm pretty sure this was his joke. And I'm not gonna really say it in joke form, but he was saying like about like ways of dying and like going out with a bang and like just leaving it in an odd circumstance for people when they see it, like dying in like a clown outfit. Like I don't know if this is exactly how word it was, like something like dying. Oh no, it was dying with like scuba gear on and but then like next to a small bucket of water, as if like you try to like dive into the small bucket of water from like a high height or something like that. Yeah, it's just confuse people. Exactly.
Make people go, what the fuck happened here?
I definitely want people to like enjoy, and I would hope people would not be sad during my death. Like I want to have some gags planned out for my death too. Like, you know what I mean? Like put that in my wheel, like some funny shit to happen. Like, like you ever hear like the Petty Murphy died, that kind of stuff. Or like people celebrating death and like having like people like I've heard stories where people like brought the dead person out of the casket and were like dancing with them, that kind of stuff.
That's
like,
a bit much.
Yeah.
I think I draw the line of that, Andrew. Well, that's a bit weird. I'm not gonna lie.
No, well, it was more like a prank.
Well, but I mean,
you're like to prank someone, like your nan comes over, and I mean, they're probably fucking hammered when they did something like this, but
like,
so to make it funnier.
Mexico, like they celebrate the dead.
The Day of the Dead,
like
yeah.
It's a celebration.
I think they actually don't they dig relatives up during that time.
I don't know too much about it, but I do know that one
we're
time I was
scared of death here in North America. We hate death.
We really are. So I actually follow a bunch of hospice nurses on TikTok.
Whoa.
I know, really, really weird. But they talk a lot about like the experiences they encounter with dying people and all of this. And I also follow death doulas.
Sweet.
They help people in the end of their life.
What's a doula?
Death doula. So like a birth doula is someone who helps with birth, helps the mother through the birth
like
process. Kind of, yeah. Not as much of a I don't really know the difference, honestly, between a midwife and a doula. Midwives provide medical care during pregnancy, birth, and the immediate postpartum period. Doulas provide you and your family with emotional, informational, and physical support. So they're less medical. They wouldn't be able to like know about like the medical implications of birth, but more so like the emotional support and like breathing techniques and like stuff like that.
Oh, okay.
So it's not as technical. It's the less technical version of a midwife, which is interesting.
You never said how you would die.
What
you would do before your death.
Oh
Before
God, I
we
don't
go,
know.
I want to know.
I don't know. That's very strange. To think about, because I do think about it every day. I'd probably do the same as you. Like maybe like just reflect on things and try to be peaceful. Because I don't really have any. I always
celebrate with family. I would want to do that too. I'd call up loved ones and be like, "Yeah, what up?" I'd joke. I'd have laughs.
I'd call up loved ones for sure, but I do feel like it's a sad thing for me to say, but like I don't feel like I have my like end of the world person like a lot of people do. A lot of people have like that best friend or or they're really close with like I have a lot of friends who are really close with their mothers, so obviously like they would be with their mothers. I'm not that close with my family, and I do feel like the people who I'm close with are closer with other people. So there is a sadness associated with that.
Your cat?
That thought. Oh, yeah. I would be with my cat. That's my end of the world person. Oh, I could cry now. Oh, no.
Well, you're already prepared then. You're ready to go.
I think I would try to embrace solitude in some weird way. Maybe find a sunset.
Wow.
Maybe find...
Yeah.
I would love to get to a beach.
That'd be sick.
A nice sunset.
You could go with Joe. You could go cold swim. And just never come back.
Yeah, really though. I mean, Joe should do an end of the world carpool. He should round up people and we should all go to the beach.
I don't think I'd be able to die in the cold water because it'd be so cold I'd want to jump out.
Oh, I wouldn't go in the water. I would be like on the beach.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm not into getting eaten by sharks.
Sharks?
There's definitely sharks in our waters. Yes.
What?
Yeah.
Huh.
There's great whites everywhere.
Huh.
There are?
Here.
Look it up.
In Halifax.
Yeah. There's
I don't think we gotta worry about
there's
sharks.
an app that tracks them. Did you hear about the guy who died in Australia, who was a diver and like his life was dedicated to diving and like exploring the ocean, and he got annihilated by a shark and died.
Well, I don't think anyone doesn't get annihilated by a
but
shark.
This was like
I think if you're gonna attack by a shark.
No, this was next level.
Really?
This was next level, like eaten. Like I think
whole body.
People who die from like shark attacks like it might be like bites. This was like bad, and he was someone who actually like literally died doing what they loved because they were in the ocean. Yeah. But I do think that there's no better sight than a sunset.
I wonder
on
how
the beach.
he wanted to die.
Maybe that was it. Maybe
annihilated by a shark.
He was like, if you just look it up, like Australia shark attack death, like you'll find the story. It's fucking insane. There's a video. I haven't seen the unblurred video. But there's a video of the body coming washing up or whatever.
Jesus
or
Christ.
like the dead, like they saw the dead body and like people on the beach are like screaming.
Was that on rotten.com? Do you remember that?
Where?
Rotten.com?
I don't know that one.
Was that like I
Rotten.com?
wonder if that was like a prepubescent kid thing. A dude, boy thing. We would watch like, there's like this website called rotten.com, and my buddy showed me when we were kids.
Was it like
a baby in a jar and like
like all that weird shit?
Weirdest, yeah, just the worst photos you could possibly find. Like people with like their head cut in half and like,
oh god. Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about. I didn't. Yeah, there was a site like that. I mean, like shocker videos were a huge thing when I was younger.
What's a shocker vid?
Just like, I mean, the 2-girl 1 cup type things.
Oh yeah,
there was one I saw that was
you
called.
Don't see those anymore.
That was
Maybe
called, you really don't.
It's all normalized now.
Well, we're all so sensitive, right? We can't take it.
Although it's probably out there on like 4chan or something.
Yes. One of the craziest one I saw was called.
I don't go looking either.
Was called Octopus Girl. Have you seen this?
No.
I can't believe I'm talking about this on the podcast.
Explain Octopus Girl to us.
A woman put like an octopus up her pussy and then shoved it out, like squeezed it out.
And did it?
It was. I don't know.
Was
if
it alive?
I don't think so. It was one of the weirdest things I've ever seen in my life.
That's just inhumane.
Yeah, no, totally.
Or,
but I'm the fucking person, and there's 2 types of people in the world, and let me know which one you are. I'm the type of person to look at the thing, like the disgusting, horrifying thing, rather than not. I want to see it. My mind wants to see it.
I thought you were going to say there's 2 types of people in the world. Someone that'll put an octopus up their pussy and someone that won't.
Which one are you, Andrew? Where you land on the...
I'd put 1 tentacle up there. That's it.
So fucked
That's the
up.
type of person I am. I'll put 1 tentacle.
So fucked up, the shit that, yeah, the videos that are out there. Yeah. Kids.
Hey, for likes and money.
But even back then, it wasn't
now,
likes. It wasn't
women
likes.
are selling their panties more. Is this more? Do you think it's happening more frequently than ever?
Yeah, because I think women are discovering that we're all sitting on money. Literally.
Yeah. I've heard it being discussed a lot recently.
The selling it. Well, apparently, listen, I don't think it's cost effective, to be honest.
Why?
Because the freaks who are buying underwear, they need you to like they have specific things that they want you to do with the underwear, whether that's like wear them for a week or like package them a certain way. Like there's all these things you have to do, and then you only get so much per pair, right? You got to ship them out. Like, I don't know. To me, I'm just like, that's too much work. Just get an OnlyFans.
You're following requests.
But like
specific orders.
Yeah. But those people buying them.
Right.
It's not about just getting like on Amazon underwear.
I thought you could just be like, this is what happened to my underwear today. Post it.
It's the fact that they
take what you can get.
They're buying, sounds cheesy to say, but like they're buying an experience with the underwear. Like they want to know what led to the underwear being in the state that they're in, or like.
Where do you lie on this?
Oh, I would never do that.
No?
I thought about it before. I'm not gonna lie. When I've been really broke, I've thought about it. But like, I'd much rather just post boobies on OnlyFans and charge for them.
Yeah, dude. I've been trying to work on this joke because my friend had someone on Snapchat, and right, they were like friends, and she used to sell him weed, right? And then suddenly, one day, just all of a sudden, she sends him a video of her having sex with a dude. And she's like, if you want, like, pay for my vids kind of thing. And he was just like, whoa, what? Like, I didn't know what? We were just friends. And like, we just had this mutual relationship. And now you're like,
now he's in the sales pipeline.
Yeah. I just find it funny to be like, you have a certain rapport with someone, and then suddenly, how do you make that transition into being like, Hello.
Right. But
What
a
if,
lot.
like, your like relatives, like, you know what I mean? Like, there's
No, but
all
that's-
these weird like dynamics that must
Right?
come up when you do these things.
But that's the risk you take. But if
Yeah.
you had the chance to make hundreds of dollars a month and pay down your debt
yeah.
very easily,
Makes
it's very
sense.
appealing to a lot of girls because they now know how easy it is to get money from men.
I watched an interview with some sex workers, and like one of the way she talked about it was like, well, like, what would you like? You have to give yourself up anyway, no matter what job you're working. So, and like she was saying, she has more control
That's right.
over her body than in another job, kind of thing. I was like,
Well, that's why, like, I think OnlyFans and cam girling is very appealing, and not so much being a porn star anymore. None of this is staying in, by the way. Although I might post this as a bonus episode on Patreon. If you're okay with that, Andrew, I might post OnlyFans bonus snippet.
You do whatever you want.
Now, as a dude, would you be offended if a girl put a nude that she sent to you, specifically for you, on OnlyFans and then charged for it later down the road? Is that offensive? No?
No, I've never been sent a nude.
What?
I don't think so. I did one.
What?
I jerked off with a girlfriend of mine over like webcam, or not what, like, you know, face chat. And I did a Snapchat once with a girl I was dating, but I've never received a titty
But
pic.
you did videos.
Yeah.
I mean, that's you went.
Never an existing titty pic or any of that. No,
Whoa,
I've
that's
never
wild.
prompted, and no girl has ever done it to me for some reason. For some reason. Why hasn't this happened?
Have you sent?
Should have.
Have you sent pictures?
Definitely not. I don't think so. No, I think it's more so just been like video kind of stuff.
That's funny that you
Live.
went straight to video. Like
Live stream.
There was no tease leading up to the video. It was just like straight video.
I've never known how to do it. You know, I don't think I've ever had the like inspiration to just send a dick pic. I've never been like, now's the time to send one.
But that's good. That's good. Stay that way. Don't.
I'm a mama's boy. Maybe that's why.
I think the correct.
I'm a mama's boy. I only masturbate on Zoom, okay? In unison with my partner. I don't send dick pics. I've been raised well. What does being on Zoom have to do with being a mama's boy? She raised you that way? That's so fucked up. Now, when you grow up and there's this thing called Zoom.
The correct way to do it, I think, is if the girl either asks for it, that's okay to send it. If you've already been sexting and like you're on the way to her place, you can send a dick pic.
You know what? I don't think I've even sexted properly. Maybe that's why I never really understood sexting.
Oh, okay.
I've never been good at that. Yeah, most of the sexual stuff, like when I've been with women, it's like been by accident.
What do you mean?
I just like walk into pussy. That's it. I bump into it. I don't know. It's like I stub my toe on pussy. That's. I don't like try, you know what I mean? Like I don't know how I get there. God. It just happens. Like one girl, I meet this girl downtown actually through a mutual friend, and then I'm downtown. Like I had like a backpack and stuff. It was after like a comedy show, and like backpack and like a jacket and like a bunch of stuff. And then she's like, "So you're gonna like, will you walk me to my cab?" And I'm like, "Oh yeah, I don't mind." And then I like, hey, to my friend who was also there, I'm like, "Hey man, can you just like watch my backpack for a second? I'm just gonna take her to the cab." And he's like, he looks at me, he's like, "You're not coming back." I was like, "What do you mean?"
I don't understand.
He's like, "You're going home with her, bye." I was like, what do you mean? I'm just walking her to her cab. And he's like, "What's wrong with you?" Like, no, she's taking you home. And I was like, what? And then I get to the cab and she's like, "So you hopping in?" And I was like, oh, Yes.
Why are men so dumb?
I don't know. I don't know.
I
Also, well, I'm not going to
know.
be presumptuous.
Okay, as someone who that story makes me mad because like I've been so blunt with men and they don't pick it up.
I don't get the cues.
And I've also had a situation where I watched a guy that I wanted to fuck get in a cab with another girl, and I have no idea what she did differently than what I did to make that happen, and not what it's this. I don't get you guys. I don't know why I even try anymore.
Same. I don't get it.
I want to stub my toe on dick, you know? Like but I don't think it's meant for me. I don't get it. I have a more like, I guess, bold approach. But guys still don't pick up on that.
What do you mean? What's your bold approach?
Like just saying it.
Like, let's fuck?
Yeah. Or like I want, you know. Actually it's been a while since I
love that. If someone's just like, let's fuck, I'm like, oh, that's what you want. Okay, let's do it. Yeah.
Yeah. But I think a lot of those times it was like over like Messenger or something. Not in person.
Yeah.
So I really can't say shit.
It's funny. Most of my relationships I've been fuck buddies.
Oh,
with
same.
People on the rebound. So I've been the rebound dude. And I was like I was just happy. Like I was like, that's great. I never looked at myself as a rebound because I never wanted a committed relationship. So it was just like a perfect thing for me. Because it would be like, or like people that are traveling. Like one girl, she was visiting Newfoundland from Ottawa. Perfect. And we knew we only had like 2 months together.
Perfect.
But like we got to know each other really well and hung out. Had a lot of sex.
I feel like 2 months is slightly too long.
Maybe it wasn't that long, but it was like we built something. We definitely built something, and I think it might have hurt her after I didn't feel things. I liked her, but I was just like, I'm not going to Ottawa. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm not doing a long-term relationship.
Oh my God. Oh, fuck. I hate those situations. I call them situationships. Not so much fuck buddies, because
I wasn't emotionally involved in it. I liked her a lot though, but it was like, yeah.
Did you do things other than hook up? Did you like hang out?
We hung out and then we hooked up
as like friends.
Not we hung out, but it was around the nucleus of sex.
Okay, got you.
We enjoyed each other's company, but there was always sex.
The mission was there. Yes,
that was my mission. Anyways,
yeah.
I was a very promiscuous, only sex oriented person for a while.
What a fancy way of saying fuckboy.
Yeah, true. I was a fuckboy. I never looked at myself as a fuckboy. I would be like, I was a douchey fuckboy in the sense that like, but I wasn't like, I didn't know I was doing fuckboy stuff.
Oh, okay.
Because I'd be like, nice. So I feel like I was like, ugh. Like looking back, I'm like, I was like more gross because I wasn't just like, hey, let's fuck. You know, I was kind of like, oh, hey, look, you want to be my friend? Which is
now probably perceived as you were manipulating.
Yeah.
Which is
but
why
I didn't look at it like that.
Yeah.
But it's like, oh, Jesus.
But that's why a lot of us go for assholes,
but I only
right?
wanted, like, I didn't want a relationship.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the way I entered the getting to know this person was I was only thinking about sex, but I was being nice as if I was wanting to build something more, and it wasn't like a conscious thing, but I was just trying to be nice. I feel like I was the worst kind of fuckboy because it was like on the sly.
That is the worst kind of fuckboy because your words aren't matching your intentions.
Yeah.
So the reason I think a lot of girls,
oh my
God, did I just connect it? So I do think that like the reason a lot of girls go for like assholes is there might be this perceived like, well, I know he's an asshole, so I know he's going to hurt me.
Interesting.
And it's almost like we try to prepare ourselves. But yeah, you're right. That is the worst kind of fuckboy. The nice fuckboy.
Yeah.
Don't be nice.
And then in my head, I'm like, oh, I'm such a good guy.
You fuckboys.
Albeit, I don't think there's maybe there are, but I don't think people had like bad shit to say about me. Maybe they do or have.
Fuckboys can be nice people.
I'm not aware.
People.
But
I think the term is stigmatized. We should change it to man who just wants sex.
I respect. I think I did my best. I was just trying to be respectful, to be honest.
Yeah, that's nice.
But I didn't understand that I didn't understand what I was doing, and that it would lead to hurting people. But also, I got hurt too. So I mean,
with the same person,
it goes both ways. No, and in like different aspects.
Oh,
like I got
okay.
like, so here's an interesting one. When I loved this girl in like high school, like this is like, I think it was like my first love, at least for, love what you think it is, kind of, maybe, and so I was like so into this girl for years, from like when I was like 17 to probably when I was like 20, 21. And she always had a boyfriend, but I'd always be like flirting with her, even though, and wow, even I was a douchebag, man, because like I knew the guy too, but I'd be flirting with her because I really liked her.
Were you friends with them?
Like kind of,
like prefer.
I was nice. I was nice to him, and oh man, yeah. And actually, I've slept with a dude I played basketball with. I slept with his ex, and now I'm like, it's gross to like talk about. But at the time, I like just never looked at it like that. I wouldn't. Now I'm like, that would be such a painful thing to do to someone. But at the time, I was like, oh, I'm not like best friends, so who gives a fuck? Like,
yeah.
Who cares? But I think it did. Like, I don't think he looked at me the same after. I don't ever fucking talk to him. But
there's a secret bro code, underlying bro code,
and especially with certain people. But I know some people don't give a fuck. Like, I don't know if I would. Maybe I would. Maybe I wouldn't. But
I think it's case to case.
Yeah,
it does depend.
So this girl I was really in love with, and then she proposed to me one night.
What?
No, not like proposal, but like she offered one night when we were like hammered drunk. She was like, and she had just broken up with her boyfriend. She's like, I'm thinking like, what if like we were just like, what if like you and me were just like fuck buddies? And I was like, yeah.
Oh no.
But to me, in my mind, I was like, we'll be fuck buddies, and then like there, and then like maybe you'll be my girlfriend eventually.
Of course, you were thinking like a woman.
Totally.
Truly, that's why we can't do casual. A lot of us can't do casual sex.
Broke my heart, man. Broke my heart. Broke.
And how long did you string it out?
But the thing was, I wanted to have sex with her so bad. I was just like, it didn't matter.
Right.
I was like, and maybe we'll build a relationship, but ultimately I wanted to I really loved her.
Right.
And I can't remember how long that went on. That went on for a while, maybe months.
Oh my God.
And then she ended up going with a guy. Actually, she's married to this guy now. Yeah.
Did you ever tell her you wanted a relationship?
Yeah, I think I went a little crazy. Yeah, I did one of those long texts, oh, I love you.
Aww.
I blah, 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 poured my heart out, that kind of thing. And then it was but she wasn't telling me the truth kind of thing. And I was just just tell me, that kind of drama. I'm hammered. And I threw my phone on the ground and kicked a mirror off the side of a car.
How old were you at this time?
I don't fucking know. I was maybe, I feel like I was in my early 20s. I feel like I was 20.
I love
21.
it. No, but that's perfect.
I drive around Newfoundland listening to Mumford and Sons. Little Lion Man, and swerving all over. I don't care about my life, man. Fuck. Yeah. Oh, dude.
Oh my God.
Brutal.
Like the dramatics of like young love is like no other thing. Like
It's definitely the most passionate I've ever been.
But like also just like, this is the worst feeling I will ever feel in my entire life. Like when you're like 20.
It fucking sucks.
It truly, no, like truly. It's the most dramatic.
And she wants someone else, Nambi? What?
Mm-hmm.
I thought we were friends.
Aww.
Okay, we were friends, and then we had sex. The equals should equal relationship, right?
A tale as old as time. What did she respond to your text with?
I cannot remember, but I remember it being awkward with me wanting to like hang out with her after or like chat with her after that. And her partner would always be there. Like they would not separate after. It was so funny. Every party we would go to, they'd always be like together. And then like if I chatted to her, it was like the weirdest fucking thing. Yeah. And like I was just like, all right, I'm trying to move on, but this is fucking weird.
God damn.
Because I've had sex with her, and then this dude, he's there, and
no, of course,
it's weird.
That's fucking weird,
right? You get it, boy.
No, I do. I mean, yeah, no, I get it. I get it. I keep my fuck buddies very separate from my life. They're very like not at all connected to any friends or comedy or oh yeah, like.
Do you have fuck buddies now?
I have one. I haven't fucked him in like a year and a half, but like probably could.
There was no closure.
But like we've been like kind of like bang buds. Can I say bang buds?
Sure.
Since like 2013.
On and off.
Yeah. Just like whenever. But like it's like, hey, we do this one thing great. Let's do this one thing great together, and we don't have to do anything else together. Perfect.
Sex is good. The sex is good.
Yeah, it's fun. It's predictable. It's reliable. No, wrong word choice.
Oh, reliable.
It's reliable.
Huh. So why not more?
It's a great question.
Do you want more?
I think like I lost my sex drive, and then I think we're both lazy.
Huh.
I think that could be it.
No, like
COVID came into play.
Zero relationship. You never want a relationship with this person?
Oh no, I did in the beginning.
Huh.
But then I don't know what changed, but something changed where I was like, okay, I no longer care about like being with this person, but I do still like having them as this person to come over every now and then. There's like a comfort level.
Yeah.
And that's kind of nice to have it with somebody.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, maybe I text him at the end of the world.
Oh, yeah. Go out with a bang, baby.
Go out with a bang.
Yeah.
A literal bang. Yeah, no, but that's like, I have to do that. Like, because otherwise I will get feelings. And it will be messy town. So I have to keep it as casual as possible. And by that, I mean, like, there's a purpose for our hangouts and nothing else. Like, we don't talk, hang out, text.
Because he's made it clear he doesn't want anything else?
Yeah.
Oh, I get you.
Yeah.
That must be tough emotionally.
Because our personalities wouldn't match up.
Oh.
Yeah.
Fuck. I don't know if I could do that, man. That takes to be like emotionally
detached,
interested in someone, and then to have sex with them. But knowingly know that it would.
Yeah. And it was a problem for a while, but again, like something just
I've probably done it, but
something just shifted in me, and I was just like, okay, I no longer care. I think it might have been self-respect.
Nice. Yeah.
Like, I think it might have been just a moment of like, I know this person won't be with me, so there's no point in me liking him anymore.
Yeah.
But I still enjoy the physical
side
of things.
Tough.
Yeah, man. I've been through a shit ton of like weird casual situations. Like I've been single for 10 years, but like that does not mean that shit hasn't fucking gone down and happened and like been very intense and like has felt like breakups, even though they weren't. Oh yeah. That's a whole other podcast. We gotta end it because guess how long we've been talking? Just take a.
I looked at my watch. 3 hours.
You're right on 3 hours.
Wow.
This is. Can I keep the relationship stuff in? I'm not gonna keep the OnlyFans stuff in,
dude. I don't give a fuck.
I would love
you keep
to
whatever you want.
I would love to cut in that fuck buddy, that whole thing. But we're gonna do a real ending now. This is the real ending. We're really ending the podcast now.
Okay.
So Andrew, thank you for being on the podcast.
Thank you for having me. It's been great.
My God, what a wild ride. Where can people find you on Instagram? What's your Instagram?
Have a nice K _
Oh, have a nice K.
Mm-hmm. I am on Twitter, but not many people go. I think it's the same thing. Have a nice K. Maybe it's not. No, maybe it's not.
I'll find it and
I'm there somewhere on Twitter. I don't use that too much. Instagram's the most. I tried TikTok because Instagram, just Instagram.
Follow Andrew on Instagram. Big thank you for this wonderful night of insane conversations. And you get to end the episode with a bell ring. Hold her up and give her a ring. That means we're done. We're done.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening to the Intoxicated Podcast. If you enjoyed this week's episode, make sure you subscribe on whatever podcast app you use and leave a rating or review on Apple Podcasts. You can also give us a follow on Facebook and Instagram at Intoxicated Podcast and check out our video episodes on the Intoxicated YouTube channel. Until next week, feel hard and talk hard. Intoxicated Podcast is hosted and produced by Sarah McClellan, co-produced by Sarah Nicole, and brought to you by the messiness of life.
Oh, everybody's depressed. Next subject.